Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, and today I want to talk about the Halo Campaign Evolved remake and some of the problems the community is having with the game. And now a lot of this will be based on the Actman's video. He's actually the person that got me into kind of broadening my horizons and trying out Xbox games. I discovered his channel I got recommended like one of his original Halo reviews, and I really liked them. I liked how in-depth he got with the Halo franchise, and he does a really good job with comparing the Campaign Evolved to the original Combat Evolved and his opinions on the changes and the things that are different and everything. So if you want to get his full take on it and a really expert opinion on the remake, go check out his video. I highly recommend it. I'll be basing a lot of my video here off of that video and other things I've seen in the community as of late, since more people are much more versed on the Halo universe than I am, but I'll be giving you my thoughts on it as well. I'll talk about some of their points and then inject my own opinion, of course, here. So first and foremost, let's get it out of the way. The biggest element that a lot of Halo fans are really upset about with the Campaign Evolved is the ability to sprint. Now, this seems fairly benign in a lot of ways. A sprint function, if you just look at it from the outside perspective and just say, well, yeah, it's just another movement option. It feels more modern. It feels like a way to modernize the original Combat Evolved. But Actman and a lot of other people in the community have talked about how this is a really almost like a death knell for Campaign Evolved, and they really want it removed for the final product because they say that the developers 343, which is now Halo Studios, just don't understand what made the original game so great, and the sprint function kind of highlights that. It's not the only reason they think that, but it's a big reason why. The biggest thing that the original developers at Bungie did with the original game, what makes it such a landmark and such a evergreen experience, is they made everything so intentionally. Every enemy placement, every roadblock in your way was made with the intention of you to soak in the area, get engrossed in the area, and to have a fun gameplay experience. Obviously, that was their main goal, is to let you have fun in this beautiful world that they built. And they really understood game design well. Some of the things that really make sprint not work in this game is giving Master Chief so much more mobility kind of defeats the purpose. He wasn't meant to be super mobile. The game was meant to be more strategic in the way that you dispatch enemies. You need to plan out your attack. If you're just sprinting around, you're not only kind of being able to outmaneuver and do things a little bit differently, you're also not taking in the beautiful world that they've created. You're just running right past it. Almost like they don't want you to see what's around you. They want you to get through the level as quickly as possible, taking away from that an intentionality in game design. Now, some other things that were pointed out by the community include stuff like the Warthog driving too smoothly in the remake, which again seems kind of counterintuitive. You'd think like an updated, more modernized way of driving the Warthog would make more sense, but this takes away from what made the Warthog so fantastic. The Warthog handled a very specific way on purpose. It wasn't meant to be something you could just plow over the enemies with reckless abandon and control it willy-nilly. There were even areas where they had trees and rocks and things blocking the path, so you couldn't take the Warthog up. But apparently in the new demo, you can, and it's so much more maneuverable that you can just run over enemies with ease. Again, taking away from the kind of tactical-based gameplay that Bungie originally made for the original game. It's just a testament to 343 Studios, I guess Halo Studios now, the fact that they don't really understand Halo and they haven't really understood the series for a long time. Most people think that Halo peaked back in the Halo 3 and Reach days because that was the last time Bungie touched it, and I think that they're exactly right. I think 343 has done a decent enough job with some of the titles, but Halo 5 completely missed the mark. Infinite was pretty darn good, but not as many people played it. They've just kind of missed the boat every single time, and this new remake and their design philosophy changes and everything just highlight that even further. Enemy AI is much different in this game. They are much stupider, which I always think is such a terrible thing. I noticed this when they did the Xbox 360 version of Perfect Dark. The original AI on the 64 was perfect, but for some reason they changed it in the 360 version, and it just feels a lot worse. It's not nearly as good of a game playing it on the remastered version. That sucks. You want to see such a phenomenal game design thing stay consistent across the board, not get changed for no particular reason. They also criticized some of the game design, or the enemy design, excuse me, like for the grunts, they look more like Halo 4 and on grunts and not like Halo Combat Evolved. There's a lot of minute details that are just being either glossed over or completely ignored from the original game that a lot of fans take issue with. The way it controls, the way you move, the way that enemies look and behave all feel different than the original game. And I know that you don't want to make everything exactly the same. You want to do some kind of things that change up the gameplay so you're not just playing a remake, especially for a game like Halo Combat Evolved that already has an anniversary edition, that already has an updated version for the Master Chief Collection. If you're just beating the same dead horse over and over again, yeah, it's not going to be nearly as exciting. I know Xbox users probably weren't as excited about an original campaign remake than they would have been for a brand new game in the franchise. But on the other side of the coin here, they want it to remain faithful to the original because the original was such a landmark title in gaming's history, not just as the property evolved going forward from it. People just want to see that the soul of Halo Combat Evolved is very present in the campaign Evolved, and it doesn't feel like they're really capturing that. It feels like they're missing the mark or really just not understanding entirely what made the original game so fantastic. And this is a bummer to me because it really just shows that not only is the Halo franchise just truly properly on the decline, it doesn't seem to be improving going forward either. Rebranding from 343 to Halo Studios has done nothing for the studio. They have done nothing to show that they want to change the way that they do design. They're just doing their own thing again, and it's kind of disappointing, especially for PlayStation fans that have never gotten their hands on a Halo game. If they get Campaign Evolved, it's probably going to be good. I think if they kept everything exactly the way they had it in the demo and, finished out the game with that same design philosophy, I have no doubt that a lot of people would buy it. I think it'll be extremely popular on PlayStation no matter what because it's the first time it's been on PlayStation. I think a lot of people will enjoy it just fine, but all the people who know the original Halo game will just say, yeah, but that's not it, and you're getting an inferior product. And that's not what we want. That's not what gamers want. We want the full thing here. So if we're getting a full remake with improved visuals in Unreal Engine 5, we want the original experience at the same time. We want something that really highlights what made the original game so fantastic, not just an okay or good enough experience. I would be really disappointed myself as a PlayStation fan to get Halo Campaign Evolved and finally just play it and go, yeah, that was okay. I don't know what the hype was all about. And Xbox users going, oh no, you're missing it because you didn't get the actual experience. That's what I don't want to see. Having played Halo myself, I played it way back in the day on the Mac of all places, which is hilarious. But I played it on the Mac for the very first time. I had an absolute blast. I loved it as a kid. And playing it again as an adult on the Xbox One has been a joy. It really is a phenomenal experience from start to finish. The way that they do game design and enemy design is fantastic. Things like the Flood feel particularly scary because they just bum rush you. They have the reckless abandon. They are not meant to be tactical. They're meant to just rush you and take over. That's their whole idea. And it just feels like stuff like that is the little details and things are just being missed in this new remake. Couple that with the fact that they're not having like a multiplayer suite for this really sucks. Like, really sucks. At least with Gears of War for the PS5, the reloaded version has an online multiplayer with crossplay and everything. That's a fantastic way to start things. Even if the experience is a little bit different from the original game, you have that multiplayer suite that if you missed out on, like I did when I was a kid, I heard it was fantastic. It was so much fun back in the day, and being able to experience that is really cool. I did get to play Halo Online, again, on my Mac of all places. I loved the Capture the Flag mode. It was my very favorite one. It's the most fun I've ever had doing a Capture the Flag mode in any multiplayer game ever. I really enjoyed it. And I'm sad that my fellow PlayStation users and people who've never experienced Halo in the past will not get to experience that in the future. I assume that it's because they're making a multiplayer suite, probably a dedicated multiplayer game that you can go and download. I think that kind of sucks. I think they should just be focusing on a multiplayer for the original game with all the original game modes, the original maps. It was just a blast. And it just, again, it's another sign that they just don't have as much care for the original property as they probably should. 343 just, I don't think is the right choice for Halo moving forward. I'm sad that they rebranded instead of just getting a new team altogether. I'm really skeptical moving forward if all of the Halo fans are skeptical of Campaign Evolved. Now, there were some good things, of course. It does look fantastic. I think there's a lot to like about the Campaign Evolved. I do think it will handle pretty darn well. I think the gunplay will be just as tight as the original game. But outside of that, there's a lot to worry about. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. If you're a Halo fan, are you excited about the Campaign Evolved, or are you just as skeptical as these other people? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.